The Kansas Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired was founded in 1920. The Kansas Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired is celebrating its 100th anniversary. We have captured the life stories of some of our members, talking about the barriers they have had to face in terms both of discrimination and in employment situations.
Hi, I'm Susan Fagan, and I was born legally blind with an eye disease called aniridia. So I've been visually impaired all my life. When it came time for me to go to public school or to go to school, I chose that I wanted to go to the public school. I could have gone to a Catholic one, but I chose public. And in order to go to the public school, it was required that I know how to read with my eyes. And they had just started integrating people, from what I read, they had just started integrating the blind people into the public schools in the 60s, and I was born in 1960. So I knew nothing else. I didn't know that a blind person could actually go to a school. Yeah, a totally blind person could go to a public school, and I learned that later after I had two kids, because they had the eye disease too. It was carried down from my genes, and they had a vision teacher, and she would tell me about her other students, and she'd tell me about the boy that was blind, and he went to the public school, and how they'd help out the students so they could get through their education in the public school. And so now I know that there is a difference between between my age and that child's age, because when I started school, they weren't going to allow me into the school unless I could use my eyesight to read, and no one told me anything about magnifying glasses and other visual aids when I was in elementary school or any of the public schools. The only thing I knew was the really large, huge, large print textbooks that were too heavy and too large for me. I had to stand up to see the words at the top and sit down to see the words at the bottom. And that was about the only kind of experience I had as far as having a visual teacher. And after I declined to use those large print text materials, I never knew anything else about getting help from the blind people for a real long time until I was out of high school. And I can agree with the typing thing. In the public school, the student was supposed to type 60 words a minute, and I had a terrible time trying to figure out how I was going to type 60 words a minute. There was no one to tell me any other way, and I'd have to stick my face clear to the book to see the words, and then somehow go like this and type, lean my head over and look at the book, and then type with my fingers. And I never knew that there was another way to type at that time. I never knew about, well, they didn't have computers at that time, and I just didn't know any other way. So I went through school without the help that I could have had, and I found out later that there is visual aids and there is other ways like magnifying glasses to read the small print in the dictionary and other such things. And that was my experience through the public schooling. And that's about all I had to say. I finally figured out that I was somewhat discriminated against because I had to have the eyesight to go through the public school. Otherwise, they would have not allowed me. That's all.
Learn more about KABVI at kabvi.com.